right. So I am so excited to introduce Paul Coyne. Paul is Senior Vice President of Patient Care Services and Chief Nurse Executive at the Hospital for Special Surgery, which is the world's leading academic medical center focused on musculoskeletal. Paul suffered a stroke as he began his career in finance at Goldman Sachs and obtained 5 additional degrees in a 4-year period in his late 20s to recover and transition into a career in nursing. Due to his unique knowledge of the interplay of clinical practice, finance, and technology, he has been internationally recognized, having been named Crane's 40 Under 40, Top 25 Innovator by Modern Healthcare, AI Person of the Year by Global AI Awards, as well as Healthcare Leader Under 40 by Becker's and Business Insider. Please welcome Paul Coyne.
I'm not going to use many of those degrees today. I just want you to pretend that you live in a small town that only has 2 sit-down restaurants, and your friend owns one and he asks you to manage it for him. You're really excited to manage the restaurant. He says, the wait staff have been all leaving and no one's happy in my restaurant. And you want to just do a good job so that the people in the town have a nice place to eat. You think, all right, this place has the best chefs in the state. They have the best entertainment every night, a little guitar player singing some songs. And I'm in charge of the service, and I need to do everything I can to make the restaurant the best it can be too. So you take the time to hire the best wait staff, you train them soon enough, everyone starts coming back into the restaurant. You're giving people a great dining experience. You see that there's 20 tables in your restaurant. We're going to do a little math problem. 20 tables in your restaurant. You think, you look at it a little while, you're like, all right, I can do 5 tables per waiter or waitress. So how many people do we need a night? 20 tables. They can each do 5 apiece. There we go, 4. The restaurant next door, the other one in the town, they try to save a little bit of money. They have 20 tables also. They got a great chef. They only have 2 tables. 20 tables. 2. How many? 10 at a time, right? You have 5 tables. When you go out to a restaurant and there's great service, what do you do for it at a great steakhouse? You pay more money, right? Much better service, and you're willing to pay it. That other restaurant, one of the waiters calls out sick, so now they're taking care of 20 tables a night. And then they start getting the wrong orders. They drop the dinner plates because they're running around so fast. And the customers start writing bad reviews on Yelp. You on the other hand, you have happy staff, happy customers. New chefs are starting to get hired to make some creative dishes, and the little band becomes a 40-piece orchestra. Everyone's really enjoying it, coming in, paying big money for your restaurant. I think your owner friend's going to be real happy. Like, yes, I've been in this job a year, everything's going great, brought everybody back. And then your owner friend calls you and he says, hey, we got a little problem. You say, what do you mean? We have more volume coming in the restaurant, there's no errors at all. We got a 5-star Yelp rating in the service category. Your friend says, yeah, we're losing too much money because of you. You say, me? This can't be my fault. The customers are paying. All the tables are full all the time. The owner says, yeah, but we need to cut the wait staff to make more money. You say, no, that's a major reason why our restaurant's the best. We cut the wait staff, we're going to end up like the other place on Yelp. They just went out of business. The customers are willing to pay for this. They're paying every night. Your friend says, no, I don't think you're understanding. We get the same amount of money per customer for our wait staff as the other place. You said, the one with the terrible service and staff? Your friend says, yeah. You say, how can that be? Your friend says, well, the wait staff, they're a fixed cost. We get paid the same if we got 1 waiter or 10 waiters. So you're going to have to figure this out, chief server. Do you really need that many? Can they move faster? The consultants came in last month and they say you don't need as many servers as you have. You say, well, we need this many. Did the consultants look at the extra chefs and the 40-piece orchestra that we just... Focus on yourself in your own department, they tell you. And we can't cut those people. They're revenue generating. You say, what is revenue generating? And for instance, well, we upcharge the customers on the way in, obviously. So they pay for the chef and the entertainment separate. It's just your server team. It's different. So let me get this straight. We bill everybody in this whole restaurant extra other than my team? The town loves the servers. They're the most trusted people in the whole town. That's why they come. Any rational human being would want more servers and the right food, and maybe just 10 people in the band, not 40 if we have to cut money. Why are we even having this conversation? And then your friend tells you the biggest secret of all. The owner of the restaurant, he leans in close, he says, of course they would, but they don't know where their money's going. They give it to somebody else who pays for it on their behalf. It's called the food insurance industry. And you say, but if all these people knew their money they're paying for isn't going to the servers, and their food order is suffering as a result, they'd go to another restaurant. Your friend says, there's nowhere else to go. This just isn't the way it is this is just the way it is for every restaurant in America. And we're just one restaurant, you're just one chief server, and so I suggest you figure out how to do this. By the way, you're going to be held accountable to the same results as all the other people that we don't have to worry about because they're generating revenue. And if you can't figure it out, you're going to have to work somewhere else. But you can't. Because this is happening in every hospital in America. Every single chief nurse, like me, is faced with the impossible dilemma of choosing between saving money or improving care. In every other industry, the intended goal of the business and the financial yield are positively correlated. If you own a business making shoes, and you make more shoes, you make more money. Even in the public sector, if a town has more children, the town raises taxes to hire more teachers. But in healthcare, more patients do not correlate with more nurses. In fact, as we've learned today, it's the opposite. Hospitals receive more profit if they have less nurses. And as a result, every frontline nurse, like the ones that you've just heard, believe that their administration, like me, perhaps doesn't value them as much as they should. So then we start into a dialogue and a fight that doesn't ever feel like the real fight to me. I'm like, we're saying the same thing. Because no one realizes that the hospital would not be paid for the additional support that every chief nurse, unless they're pure evil, which I don't think any of them are, want to give. And so the fight is not really between hospital administration and frontline staff. They actually have the exact same goal. And the patient does too. Great patient care. Which makes me wonder, who likes this? Who has this different goal? It's not the patient. It's not the staff. It's not the hospital. And I'm not going to speculate today. One, because I'm being recorded, I think. And two, because it doesn't matter. If it's not one of these three, then there's really no reason why we should disrupt the status quo and make it better. The solution that everyone typically talks about to this problem is mandated ratios. The solution is where hospitals, as we've learned from Rebecca and others, keep getting paid the same, but they're forced to staff the number of patients per nurse at a smaller number without receiving any more money to do so. So then they have to cut other programs, and if for some reason they deviate, then they pay the government a fine. That's the best we can come up with as a solution? I don't think so. It continues a narrative that the fight should be between hospital administration and staff. You know why we don't hear about mandated ratios for any other clinical discipline? Surgeon, anesthesia, physical therapy, physician assistants, every other one doesn't need to even have that discussion because they bill for their services. Their time is valued with dollars. Unlike nurses, as we've learned, their time is valued wrapped up in a room and board charge with the bed sheets and the food. As a result of this devaluing of the nursing profession, the monetary devaluing, every American citizen is suffering as a result of a reimbursement model that makes absolutely no sense. There are so many things in America that are controversial, so many things we could talk about today that they're probably talking about across the street that we don't agree on. This isn't really one of them. America simply doesn't know the truth, and it's time to let them know. This isn't just a night out to dinner. This is a hospital system that determines where your parents receive care. It's a hospital where you trust people to do the best they can for your children. This is where you're placing value on the most important industry of all, your life. And right now we're failing, and the solution is very simple. Reimburse nurses for their time, their most valuable time, just like every other clinic.